What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rant, no hate. So I'm finding this kind of funny. Now, this is a video I'm going to say. I just did another video, not the same video, but it's involving Tyson Fury. And this is kind of funny to me. So I'm going to look into this to see what else I can find and dig up about this situation. This title of this video is Tyson Fury promoter Frank Warren to petition the WBC so they force a mandatory on Tyson Fury. Now, I will say Frank Warren was showing for some frustration a couple weeks ago because he's trying to get fights for Tyson Fury and Tyson Fury's being a jackass. So he's pretty much, getting to a point like everybody's like, man, Tyson Fury's name, when it comes up, you don't expect anything but just talk. He makes these weird videos, always running his mouth like he's challenging everybody. He want to fight and hollering and screaming. And I think it's starting to, even people who was trying to make excuses for him, a lot of them are starting to just, all right, I'm tired of this guy right now. He's doing the same antics and he's not trying to actually make the fights happen that we want to see. So it could be some truth to this. Anyway, let's just take a listen. And like I said, I'll dig into this more during the week and see what I can, what more information do I have on this, but that I can find on this rather. But I think it's just kind of interesting what this guy has to say. So let's just dig into this.
A few outlets are reporting that Frank Warren, Tyson Fury's promoter, is set to meet with WBC President Mauricio Suleiman to try and get him to basically force a mandatory on Tyson Fury. Now, on the face of it, it's a bit of a head scratcher, and it had me thinking, like, why is he doing this? What's going on? Can't he just basically pick someone from the list and offer them a fight anyway? And then, like, people started kicking up in the comment sections on a few videos. Basically, people don't want to see Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury #4, and they think that that's what Frank Warren's angling for. I don't think that's what he's angling for. Basically, the WBC, right, as it stands, I'm not sure the exact order, but the top four basically in line to fight Tyson Fury are Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, and Frank Sanchez. So if you look at that list, right, and you understand that I think the mandatory, first and foremost, I think it's a 75-25 in the champion's favour. I know that Dillian White only got like, I think 20% or 18% when it's all said and done, but his one was a bit political, and his previous purses were basically whack compared to Tyson Fury, so they made an exception and they gave him less. But in theory, it should be 25% to 75%. Now, Anthony Joshua has already walked away from a chance to negotiate the fight for 40%, so you can rule him out. He's not going to be taking that fight. And he didn't take that fight because he's looking to fight Deontay Wilder. So I think it's safe to say that we can also rule Deontay Wilder out. Even though people out there kicking up a fuss about we don't want to see Deontay Wilder 4, it's not really on the cards. And even if it was that fight, it's not the worst fight in the world. I mean, let's be honest, it's better than most fights he'd make in terms of entertainment. I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen it 3 times before. I get it. It's kind of repetitive or whatever, but at least we'll know we'll be getting an entertaining fight, I guess. But it's not really on the card, so we can sort of dismiss him, right? So Anthony Joshua's been dismissed. Deontay Wilder, in my eyes, has been dismissed as well. It leaves Andy Ruiz and Frank Sanchez. I think the target is Andy Ruiz, and I think the whole play here is to basically force Andy Ruiz into fighting Tyson Fury for a reasonable purse, or he will miss his chance at a WBC title shot. Now, obviously, Andy Ruiz is PBC promoted, so they're not really going to sing to anyone's hymn sheet or anything. They're going to do whatever they've got to do. But I think that Frank Warren is basically trying to apply pressure, public pressure, to all these guys to try and make a big fight. Now, if they turn it down publicly, then it's going to sort of vindicate Tyson Fury to an extent, because he's going to say, oh, I tried to make this fight and they didn't want it. I'm guessing Frank Warren is sick of the criticism Tyson Fury's getting, so he's going public or making it public that he's trying to force a fight and get people to...
For him to be sick of the criticism that Tyson Fury's getting, well, he need to be sick of Tyson Fury, because it's because of Tyson Fury that Tyson Fury is getting the criticism that he's getting. He's greedy, and he's pretty much, that's all everything is about with him. I want the lion's share of the money. I want to give you crumbs. We already heard that. Look, wasn't it Tyson Fury that said he's moved on from Andy Ruiz? Him and this guy Frank Warren said that he's overpriced himself. So maybe that's just this guy's words, and I'm not so much focused on his opinion. I'm listening to what he's saying in terms of what was actually said, or words that were spoken by these guys, different interactions with the fighters and promoter type of situation. But so for him to feel any kind of way, and I've been saying, you notice ever since Tyson Fury has had that belt, he's not had not one mandatory. They can't force a guy to do anything. So if you're gonna try to, how you gonna force someone to do something if any fighter feel like they're not being properly compensated, and they say, "Nah, I'm not fighting for that," then that's that person's right. And if they, and here we go again with this, then they miss their chance. If they miss their chance, well, guess what? Tyson's not the only one holding the belt. And the way I see it, we don't know if Tyson Fury and Usyk will ever fight. There's look at what's happened so far. Let's continue.
Fight him because no one wants to fight him. So let's say for whatever reason the WBC agree and they force a mandatory on Tyson Fury at Frank Warren's request. Let's say Deontay Wilder turns it down. He doesn't care. He's going to get a bigger fight anyway. Anthony Joshua the same. He didn't want to negotiate for 40%. He's not going to do it for 25 or anything, so he's out as well. And then for argument's sake, let's say this legal stuff that Andy Ruiz got going on is going to keep him out of the ring for a while, so he can't take it, or he demands too much and the fight can't be weighed or whatever. And this is where I think Frank Warren might end up shooting himself in the foot, because if it gets all the way to Frank Sanchez, like, people are going to say he's promoted by PBC as well, there's no way they'll accept the terms, blah blah blah, whatever. Trust me, if Frank Sanchez gets offered a chance for the WBC title shot, he's going to be taking that shot. He's not one of their top tier heavyweights, so he's the kind of guy that, in my opinion, they would loan out for a risk to bring back the belt. Like, they'll do it as a one fight thing, no rematch clause, whatever, because it's a mandatory. So he'll go in there one time only. If he wins the belt, he brings it back to the PBC and he gets paid massive purses moving forward. So I think they would take that in a heartbeat. And the problem is, if you offer Frank Sanchez 25% of a Tyson Fury WBC title shot purse, you're overpaying Frank Sanchez by a long shot, and then they're going to kick up a fuss like they did with Dillian White about, oh, Frank Sanchez shouldn't be getting XYZ. But it'll be too late because they will have shot themselves in the foot, I guess. And I was thinking about this whole Frank Warren trying to basically force the mandatory situation, right? And I was thinking about the timing, and if they were to do it now, and would he still be able to fight in time for September? And I think he would, if they were to agree to like order negotiations for a mandatory shot this week, and they gave them 2 weeks to negotiate it, and then ordered them to basically go to immediate purse bids, with the provision being that the winner has 90 days to put the fight on, they can still get that done and dusted by September, and that'll still give him, like, basically it won't affect his schedule, if you see what I'm saying. So they've got the time now to force the mandatory, then force the purse bids, win the purse bids, and put the fight on in September and carry on like everything's like as it was, if you know what I mean. I'm not so sure that Frank Warren will be successful in his mission to get the WBC to order that mandatory. I mean, the WBC don't really have any power when it comes to the PBC. They can put the orders out there, but essentially the PBC are going to do what the PBC want to do. I don't think Frank Warren has much sway with the PBC as guys like Al Heyman or whatever, so ultimately it's going to be at the will of other people if they go down that route or not, and I'm not so sure that's going to be ideal for everyone. So who knows what will happen, but I guess we'll find out in due course. I think it's actually some good PR from Queensbury trying to basically put it out there, so essentially they can turn around and say, we tried to fight these guys, no one wanted to fight. But from a lot of people's perspective, I'm guessing it's going to be too little too late. They've already made up their minds about Fury, and it is what it is, I guess, at this stage. That's all I got for this one, guys. Just to summarise, Frank Warren is to petition the WBC to try and force a mandatory on Tyson Fury. People have kicked up a fuss about Wilder 4, but I don't think he's a target. Neither do I think it's Anthony Joshua. I personally believe it's Andy Ruiz. They're trying to get him to the table to negotiate a fight on more reasonable terms, I guess. But if that backfires, then there's going to be Frank Sanchez, and that'll be a bit of a problem. So, yeah, well, I guess we'll find out how it all plays out. Like, comment, share, subscribe, but don't. I'll catch you on the next one. Love.
So reality is this: it doesn't matter if Tyson Fury or Frank Warren tries to say, we tried to fight these guys don't want to fight. First off, let's not forget, Tyson Fury was the one who started throwing stupid ultimatums at Anthony Joshua, and he walked away. And then flipped it around and said, I'm so disappointed that I couldn't get that fight, when he's the one that walked away. Okay, being ridiculous and trying to be impatient. And really, I don't think he wanted that fight anyway. And then he does the same thing with Usyk. But it was so easy for him to make the fight with Derek Chisora. And the fact that he even entertained fighting Manuel Charr. So Usyk accepted his BS terms, and then he called Usyk stupid. You're not a smart man. I gave you, a crackhead deal, basically. And you accepted it. Made fun of him about it. And then all of a sudden, he changes, more stipulations. No. So Usyk got tired of playing this guy's games. Everybody's not going to do what Devin Haney did. And Devin Haney gets a lot of respect from me for doing that, because let's be real. You have to believe in yourself and understand, listen, I'm going to take this opportunity. I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to go to his country and do it. I'm going to go back to his country and beat him again. Plain and simple. And he's going to get the lion's share of the purse both times. But after that, it's all on me now. Ball's in my court. And that's pretty much, what he did. Everybody's not going to do that. And then especially with Tyson Fury and what he's saying about, these deals that Tyson Fury's giving out and what he's saying about Frank Sanchez being PBC, and if they don't get Andy Ruiz because of his legal, situation in the court with his wife, all this stuff. Well, either way, I'll tell you one thing. Frank Sanchez may fuck around and become Tyson Fury's banana peel because he's a skillful dude. And like I said before, he's high risk and low reward because he's not that popular right now. Popularity doesn't mean you can't fight, though. So, however it goes, and if he's willing to fight a Frank Sanchez, I don't think he's as eager as people think. I think he'd rather fight a guy like Philip Urkovich, somebody like F.A. Ajaba, somebody that Frank Sanchez was beaten. I don't think he'd be as quick to fight a Frank Sanchez as this guy thinks he would. I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, but basically, I think as far as Tyson Fury goes, who knows what swirls around his head. But I do agree that, yeah, they may shoot themselves in the foot because the guy that he could be in there fighting, that people will say, okay, I could accept that fight. If it gets to the point where Tyson Fury just continues this ridiculous, a mindset of everything's about me, and he doesn't want to negotiate properly, well, they walk away. There's still fights for all these other guys. See, everybody's focusing on the payday. That's what they're focusing on, the payday. They don't care about the legacy and the fact that if you win this fight, you are in a position to make more money, to start to make bigger money. And at the end of the day, the only thing Tyson Fury's doing, he's hurting himself because he's sitting out not fighting for what? So you're training, somewhat, I guess, to keep in shape, somewhat at least, but whatever. But why are you bypassing all of these fights? And this guy had the nerve to say he's trying to seal a 10-fight deal. Like I said before, just think of the top 10 heavyweights and picture him fighting all these guys. Really? Not going to happen that way. Anyway, tell me what y'all think about this situation. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.